Well, let me tell you something. Right out the gate, nothing will wake you up like realizing you're the only line of defense between a piece of land you built with your own hands and a horde of entitled strangers who think community spirit means taking whatever the hell they want. I've seen a lot in my life, but I swear when a power-tripping HOA tries to annex your private lake, you better be ready for war. That's not just a warning, that's a promise. Name's Miles Decker. 44 ex-Special Forces, and these 110 acres in Tallapoosa County, Alabama, aren't just land to me. They're blood, sweat, and scars. You don't just own a place like this. You earn it every shovel of dirt, every splinter, every early morning before the sun burns off the mist. I spent 4 years clearing brush, dredging an old lake bed by hand, building a home where peace wasn't just a word, it was my perimeter. And let me tell you, when you fight for peace, you know exactly when it's about to be broken. I was standing on my porch one Tuesday, coffee in hand, when a slick black Mercedes rolled up my gravel drive, spitting dust across the pines like it owned the road. I didn't need to see the pastel blazer, the oversized sunglasses, or that practiced Instagram smile to know what I was dealing with. Trouble capital T with a Bluetooth earpiece and a mission statement. She stepped out like she was auditioning for a reality show. "Good morning, you must be Mr. Decker, all syrup and sunshine." I just raised an eyebrow. "I don't do small talk before breakfast." She introduced herself, Karen Ventris, president of the Cotton Ridge Shores Homeowners Association. "I'm sure you've heard of us," she said, "like the Queen of England gracing the colonies. They're the subdivision to the southeast. Concrete Complaints and Yacht Club in the brochure." She wanted to talk about the lake, my lake. Their annual celebration was coming up, and the community deserves to enjoy the natural beauty of the area. I let her run out of words before I said a thing. Silence is an old soldier's weapon. She laid it out. Her HOA voted to hold their festival on my shoreline. Technically, she said, like it was a loophole. You own the land, but surely you wouldn't want to stand in the way of a community tradition. I sipped my coffee, slow and steady. "Didn't realize your traditions involved trespassing." That one landed. Her smile faltered for just a second. I told her flat out, "I've got boundary maps, notarized deeds, the whole 9 yards. Step onto my property and you're not at a picnic. You're on a police report." She tried to threaten me soft, the way people do when they've never been punched in the teeth by real consequence. "You do realize how this will make you look to the community." I didn't budge. "Ma'am, I stopped caring about appearances the same day I learned to clear a room with 6 rounds and no backup. Now get off my land." She left, but not before promising I'd regret it. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that Friday morning, it's Alabama hot air, so thick you could swim through it. I just finished checking my trail cams when I heard metal banging wood, a sound that didn't belong. I know every natural creek, every bird call, every frog in these woods. What I heard was 6 guys in orange safety vests unloading a floating dock, folding tables, coolers, a damn porta potty halfway off the trailer, all for the Cotton Ridge Summer Splash 2025. Family fun at the lake, my lake. I walked up, didn't say a word at first, just watched. One of the crew handed me a crumpled permit like it was Monopoly money. HOA logo fuzzy as an old tattoo, the lake drawn with half my forest marked as overflow parking. I told them straight they had 60 seconds to pack up or start explaining to the sheriff. Suddenly, a silver BMW screeches up and out pops Jonathan Pierce, HOA legal counsel. He tried the big city lawyer act, waving a leather folder warning about civil action and public safety. I tapped my body cam. Told him everything was being recorded, including his crew's trespass, fake permits, legal intimidation. I showed him my laminated county map. Every inch of this place is mine. By the time the workers started packing up, Jonathan was sweating through his blazer. "You'd be wise not to make enemies in this community, Mr. Decker." I shrugged. "I don't make enemies, but I don't let strangers take what isn't theirs." They drove out 3 vehicles, 2 trailers, 1 overflowing porta potty. I cataloged everything: photos, GPS logs, body cam footage, even the fake permit. But I knew it wasn't over. HOA types treat no like it's just the start of negotiations. So I added more cameras, pointed my floodlights at the water, and poured a bourbon before sundown. Saturday was tense, the quiet before the fuse hits the powder. I patrolled my trails, logged trash they left behind. Zone C family float and music area real cute. Around 4 p.m. I spot 2 kayaks, 4 teenagers paddling in like they're in a Disney movie. 2 staged. I kept my distance but stayed visible. Then, like clockwork, out step 3 adults, 2 men and a woman, HOA badges, phone recording trying to bait me. I called out private property, you're trespassing. They tried the old we're just enjoying the lake line. Didn't take. They wanted a scene. I called the sheriff on speaker, let everyone hear it. 15 minutes later, deputies arrive. I show the footage, the GPS, the deed. Karen plays her part loud and righteous. He's hostile. This is our shared environment. Deputies shut her down. GIS records. Trespass warning. Next step is cuffs. Before leaving, one deputy tells me, "You got more cameras than we do. Maybe add a couple by the south path." I don't think they're done. I nodded. I was thinking the same thing. Sunday morning, the smell of burnt plastic hit me before the coffee did. Down by the gate, I found the lock-busted fresh tire tracks in the grass. Shoreline trashed cans, broken coolers, 2 contractor bags full of chemical soup dumped straight into the water. Paint thinner, fertilizer, petroleum jelly. Someone was trying to poison the lake. Surveillance cam ripped right off the cedar pole. Whoever did this wasn't just bored teenagers, this was targeted. I pulled drone footage, found headlights on the back trail at 2:50 a.m. White GMC Sierra, cracked rear plate. That'd be Bradley T. Meyer, HOA vice president. I drove to the sheriff with a thumb-dry bottle of contaminated water every timestamp. Sheriff Darnell looked at me, shook his head. This is state level now. Environmental quality's coming. Good. Let them feel the heat. That night I slept light. Sometime past midnight, the perimeter alert buzzed 6 contacts moving through the Pine Belt hauling equipment. They'd mapped the back trails, had insider help. I threw on boots, grabbed the shotgun hit record, and lit up the shoreline with floodlights. 6 faces caught dead to rights trying to assemble a portable stage and generator. I gave them 60 seconds. Drop everything. Walk away, or you'll be dealing with the law. Right then, a gray Ford F-150 tried to run the path, no plate gunning for the dock. I fired a non-lethal beanbag round into the radiator truck, dropped steam everywhere. Chaos. Deputies roared in, rounded them all up. Bradley, 2 board members, 3 volunteers. Every excuse in the book. We thought it was common space. Here's our permit, all forged. Deputies bagged evidence, took statements, towed the truck. As they drove off, Bradley barked, "You'll regret this." Deputy shook his head. "Only thing you're pulling is time." Monday morning, the news had already leaked. Video of Bradley screaming in cuffs, going viral. I didn't mind. Let the world see what happens when you push the wrong person too far. Sheriff called emergency court hearing 2 p.m. Judge Harwell, new to the circuit, no HOA ties. I walked into court with files, thumb drives, drone shots of Bradley caught in the act. HOA's legal team looked smug at first. I laid it all out. Timestamps, sensor logs, security footage maps. Even dropped a signed affidavit from the equipment rental company, everything rented on HOA funds, signed by Karen herself. Last cherry on top, a voicemail from Karen. "I don't care what that ex-soldier says. This is our lake now. Nobody's going to back him." Judge's face turned to stone. Emails surfaced Karen's orders to remove private property signs. Optics matter, all the dirty tricks. Judge issued a restraining order, referred everything to the district attorney, fraud, trespassing, environmental crimes. Karen showed up late, all dressed up for a meltdown. Swore she was innocent, blamed everyone else, but the evidence was ironclad. The kicker. That evening, Trevor Mills, a junior board member, called me, said Karen had been laundering funds fake landscaping bills off book accounts. Sent it all to the DA. Karen got arrested in her own home camera's bathrobe, the works. Charges stacked up: conspiracy, forgery, environmental damage, misappropriating over $250,000. She fought it, called me an extremist, said I terrorized families. The trial took 3 days. Jury didn't buy a word. She broke under cross, confessed to it all. 3 years, state prison, $300K in restitution, assets seized. HOA fined, accreditation suspended, board dissolved, properties liquidated. Ghost town behind my fence. I used part of the settlement to fortify everything: thermal cameras, electric fencing, license plate recognition. Sheriff installed a relay tower, fast response coverage. Started telling my story first, a blog, then videos, then a following. Folks from all over reached out, people who'd fought HOAs, lost land battle, power-drunk board members. I taught them how to fight back, how to map, document, build a case. Before long, people started calling me the HOA hunter. Not my favorite title, but hey, if the shoe fits. 1 year later, standing on my deck, lake quiet. Just the sound of honest water and pines. I got a message: someone in Georgia fighting their own HOA war inspired by my story. Made me grin. Because here's the truth: you mess with the wrong lake, you get the whole damn storm. So tell me, where do you draw your line? And if they cross it, will you hold it or let it get washed away? Drop your stories, your battles, your ideas about justice down in the comments, because this fight, it's just getting started.